What is going on, everyone? And in this video I'll be giving you my UFC 262 main and co-main event prediction. I think this card is going to be a great one. Obviously we would have liked to have Nate Diaz on this card, Leon Edwards. I think that would even set the lightweight picture up even better. We've had probably Diaz or Edwards calling people out left and right, but at least for this we'll have a lightweight champion after this event, and we'll have a better view of the title picture and the contenders. I do think this is going to be a solid card. I'm glad it's in front of a live audience. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see if everyone likes it, but I wouldn't sleep on this card if you're just a casual fan. So I'm going to go ahead and show my picks, and then we'll talk about the co-main event and the main event. So in the co-main event of the evening, we have Tony Ferguson. He'll be taking on Beneil Dariush. And for Tony Ferguson, he's coming off of a loss against Charles Oliveira by decision. I would say it was a pretty dominant loss too against Oliveira. He obviously has moments where he can definitely hurt his opponent, and he stays in the fight the whole time. He's not one to give up or anything like that. He has great cardio, great striking, but he's very hittable. He does get himself into some awkward positions, and in that fight, Oliveira was just able to grind him out, just dominate him when it came to the grappling. I believe he hurt his arm. He broke his arm. Ferguson broke his arm in that fight when he had the arm bar. I mean, that shit, if it wasn't broken, it was definitely, stretched out, and it's not a viable weapon after Oliveira landed that arm bar in the first round. So for Ferguson in this fight, I think he needs to definitely not do that again. He can't be getting taken down, and if he's on the ground, he's just got to work a lot harder. But I do think that Dariush, I think he's definitely a powerful grappler. I definitely think he has power in his hands. But I do think for Dariush, there still is possible chin issues, and not just like Ferguson where he gets hit and then he goes rolling on the floor around the cage. I think if Ferguson can land some of these shots on Dariush, it could be a long night for him. It actually be a short night for Dariush. And it feels like one of those fights where you look at Ferguson and you're like, man, this guy, he's probably turned the corner. He got dominated his last fight. He lost to Justin Gaethje. But if you look at before that, man, he was fighting everybody in there, and he looked really good doing it. I mean, he didn't have a loss before Justin Gaethje until 2012 when he lost by decision to Michael Johnson. So it's not like he's been getting knocked out and just absolutely crushed, and he's fighting the best guys. So it's easy to look at this and be like Dariush, and I've picked Dariush before because I do think he's a great fighter. But the chin thing, man, I feel like if Ferguson can land some strikes and possibly take this to like the third round or something, I definitely think Ferguson can start landing some good strikes here and really push that pace to where Dariush is having a little bit of trouble there. Now, can Dariush land a really good shot and possibly, I guess you could say, take Ferguson out, hop on top of him and ground and pound or pull a submission? I mean, I can definitely see that, but I feel like this could be one of those fights where Dariush is kind of winning, and then Ferguson just hits him with some crazy things, and then next thing you know, Dariush is on the floor and Ferguson jumps on top of him. So it's a tough situation here. I don't want to count out Ferguson yet. I think he's still a really good fighter. He fought two really solid guys that were able to break him. I'm just not too sure Dariush is going to be able to break him with that kind of aggression. And I'm a little bit concerned if Dariush gets tagged a little bit here or there, maybe by a head kick or by a jab or something. I feel like Ferguson can hurt him. So we'll see what happens, but I'm going to take Tony Ferguson on this one. I'll take him to beat Beneil Dariush. I'll take him to win in round number 2 by KO, TKO. And then move on into the main event of the evening, and this should be a great one. Charles Oliveira taking on Michael Chandler. Obviously, Michael Chandler coming out of Bellator, and then fighting Dan Hooker, getting the TKO, which a lot of people are saying, Dan Hooker didn't look right, and I could say Dan Hooker didn't look right in that fight, but I don't want to count anything out for Chandler. I mean, Chandler seems to be one of those guys where you kind of underestimate his power, and then he's able to land like a little short hook or something like that, and he just knocks you out. So, and he can definitely bring in grappling into this. He can definitely bring wrestling into this. Whether or not he decides to use that here, I feel like he's not going to do that right off the bat because of Oliveira. You know, if he's fresh and he looks good at this weight, Chandler, you know, taking him down immediately and getting caught with a guillotine is one of the most high possibility things that can happen here. And I just feel like that's not a smart decision making here. Whether or not he can do it, I mean, why go into Oliveira's world where this dude can just throw up a triangle or pull off a guillotine? It's just not smart in my opinion. So I would like Chandler to be aggressive though. Get in the face of Oliveira. See if he can land some strikes. See if he can land some hooks to the body. Do something to where he can take that fight out of Oliveira early on and possibly look for a finish in round number 2. Granted, like I said though, Oliveira, very strong fighter. He looks really good at lightweight. It's one of those fights where you don't want to just say like, oh, Oliveira is going to win by a submission. I mean, he's definitely capable of piecing up Chandler and kind of dominating him on the feet as well. And I do believe, you know, if Oliveira, if he can take people down the way he has, I feel like he can probably take down Chandler, maybe more so as the fight goes on. But I mean, I definitely think it's a possibility. I don't think that Oliveira is just, you know, I don't think Oliveira is gonna just be defensive submission guy. I think he could definitely be offensive submission guy too, and hurt him on the feet. But Chandler, I mean, the way he goes in there and he's setting his punches up, he has that power. He can press forward, and maybe he uses the wrestling if the fight goes to a decision. But I think Chandler can get in his face, push that pressure, make Oliveira make a mistake, and then Chandler can land something and possibly hurt Oliveira in this one. So it's gonna be interesting though to see really how Chandler goes after it. If he goes for the takedown early on and it just gets absolutely destroyed by the grappling, or if he tries to pressure kind of like he did with Dan Hooker, set something up. And obviously he has to be careful of the leg kicks. That's gonna definitely make Chandler probably look for a takedown if he's getting leg kicks. So it's a close fight, but I do believe Oliveira, don't count him out. He is the favorite in this fight, but Chandler, I just feel like he's gonna be able to take it to him. And if he can really, if Chandler can take it to Oliveira in this fight and dominate it, it's gonna be very impressive to see. And then obviously having, you know, a Bellator guy who came out of Bellator as the lightweight champion in a world where there is no more Khabib, it's gonna be interesting to see what plays out. But I'm definitely gonna go with Michael Chandler on this one. I think he can push forward. I think he could possibly make Oliveira discount his power, and I think that would not be a wise thing to make. And I think Chandler can land something, feel out in that first round, see what's going on, and then go in the second round and get a knockout or TKO. So I'll take Michael Chandler to defeat Charles Oliveira by KO TKO in round number 2. So that'll do, guys, for my UFC 262 main and co-main event prediction. Really looking forward to this. I think whether the picks go right or the picks go south, I think it's going to be a great card. So just, you know, sit back, enjoy the time, enjoy the ride, and hopefully we have a better picture of what the lightweight division looks like after this. So thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment down below, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you guys in the next video.